All right, today we're tackling a universal frustration that almost every single one of us has faced at some point. You know that feeling when you've got a digital document that you desperately need to change, but it's completely hopelessly locked down? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, in this explainer, we're going to look at a brilliant, completely free, browser-based solution that essentially unlocks the PDF trap and sets your text free.
Seriously, have you ever been locked out of a PDF you desperately needed to edit? Maybe it was a contract you just needed to tweak, or an old report where you totally lost the original Word file, or even just a template you wanted to repurpose. The clock is ticking, your boss or your client is waiting, and you're just staring at this read-only document. And worse, you don't have the expensive software needed to actually get in there and make changes. It is literally maddening. But hey, don't worry, because there is a highly efficient way out of this whole mess.
Okay, here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. The PDF editing problem. 2. Why choose ODT format. 3. How browser conversion works. 4. Setting conversion expectations. 5. The privacy advantage. And 6. 4 steps to convert. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The PDF editing problem.
To fully understand the solution, we kind of have to understand why PDFs behave the way they do in the first place. So, PDF stands for Portable Document Format, and it was designed specifically for viewing and sharing so that documents look exactly the same across all devices, no matter what. It's read-only, it uses exact layouts, and absolute coordinates. Honestly, think of it like a photograph of text. But ODT, on the other hand, is designed for editable, flowing text with structured paragraphs. It's like a stream of water that shapes itself to whatever container it's in. So, converting a visually locked, rigid PDF into a flowing, editable document is technically super challenging. You're essentially trying to turn a fixed picture back into fluid, malleable data.
Moving right along to Section 2. Why choose ODT format?
If we want to unlock that fixed document, why is ODT the ultimate key? Well, ODT stands for OpenDocument Text. It is an XML-based open standard document format. It's actually an official ISO international standard, which is pretty cool. But why does this matter to us? Because it's the native format for completely free Office suites like LibreOffice and OpenOffice. Plus, it's fully supported by Google Docs and modern versions of Microsoft Word. Choosing an open standard format basically means you can edit your newly freed text using totally free software. You completely bypass the need for expensive proprietary software licenses. It literally democratizes your access to your own data.
All right, Section 3. How browser conversion works.
This is where we look under the hood, and honestly, it's absolutely fascinating. This entire process happens completely inside your web browser. First, the tool uses a rendering library called PDF.js, which was originally developed by Mozilla, to parse the PDF structure. It reads all those absolute coordinates we talked about earlier. Second, it extracts the text items and fonts, actively identifying what's a heading and what's body text based on size and weight. Third, it groups these items into lines and paragraphs to create a brand new ODT XML structure using something called JZip. And finally, in step 4, it compresses all those XML files into a single zip archive. And fun fact, that's exactly what a .odt file actually is. So it takes fixed coordinates and elegantly reconstructs them into flowing paragraphs right before your eyes.
Now, the absolutely crucial number to remember here is 0. That is exactly how many software installations, plugins, or expensive apps you need to download to pull this off. 0. Nothing. Modern web browsers are just so incredibly powerful now that they can natively handle all of this memory loading, parsing, and processing right on your local machine using JavaScript. It is a wildly complex technical process that requires absolutely zero setup on your end. How amazing is that?
Okay, let's jump to Section 4, Setting Conversion Expectations. Because while this tool is amazing, we need to be very realistic about what it actually does. So here is exactly what you can expect to successfully convert. This browser tool is a pure text extraction powerhouse. It is fantastic at pulling out plain text, rebuilding paragraph structures based on line spacing, grabbing basic headings by detecting larger, bold fonts, and maintaining your line breaks. It even perfectly preserves Unicode characters, meaning special accents and non-Latin scripts transfer over beautifully. If your main goal is to get clean, editable plain text out of a locked PDF so you can repurpose it in LibreOffice or Google Docs, this is going to be an incredibly valuable tool for you.
However, let's bust a few myths right now. It does not convert everything. It is not some magical formatting cloner. It's going to leave behind exact PDF fonts. Your text will just use default LibreOffice fonts. It strips out text colors, making everything black. It doesn't extract embedded images, it flattens tables into plain text rather than building an actual ODT table structure, and it turns multi-column layouts into just a single stream of text. Also, page headers, footers, and original page numbers, those just become regular inline text. So if you absolutely need to preserve complex layouts, beautiful images, and precise tables, you will for sure need to step up to a paid professional desktop converter like Adobe Export PDF instead.
And this actually leads to a critical distinction you really need to understand. There are two primary types of PDFs. Text-based PDFs are created directly from digital documents, like Word, LibreOffice, or a web page. The text is selectable and searchable data that's embedded right in the file. The browser tool handles these perfectly. But then you have scanned PDFs. These are literally just photographs of paper. There is no actual text data there, just pixels. This browser tool cannot extract text from scanned PDFs. For those, you absolutely must run them through an OCR, an optical character recognition tool first. That converts those pixels into searchable embedded text before you can ever convert them to ODT. So definitely keep that in mind.
All right, let's move into Section 5, the privacy advantage.
This might just be the single most compelling reason to use this specific method. There is a quote from the source material that is so important it's worth highlighting directly. It says, "Zero network transfer." Your PDF is read directly from your device into browser memory. It's never transmitted over the network to any server. Think about what this means for your confidential business contracts, your financial reports, or private legal documents. Complete privacy is achieved here because all the JavaScript processing happens locally, completely isolated within your active browser session. When you close the tab, it's gone. There is zero third-party server logging, storing, or analyzing your highly sensitive data.
Let's objectively compare your options here. Look at the browser tool. You get basic text formatting, high local privacy, and it's completely free. Compare that to Adobe Export PDF. You get excellent formatting preservation, sure, but it's cloud-based, meaning your files are uploaded to a server and it costs almost $24 a month. Or look at desktop converters. Very good formatting, high local privacy, but they require software installation and can cost anywhere from $30 to $100. If you are balancing the need for absolute privacy and zero cost against simply needing to extract editable text, the browser tool is a real game changer.
Okay, bringing it home with Section 6, 4 steps to convert. Let's guide you out of the technical weeds and show you just how user-friendly this practical application actually is. Here's how simple this is in practice. Step 1, you literally just click or drag to upload your PDF. Step 2 is fantastic. The tool generates visual thumbnails of every single page. You can just click the specific pages you actually need to convert, which saves you from processing a bunch of irrelevant pages. Step 3, you can preview the extracted text right there on the screen to verify the quality before you even commit. And Step 4, you just hit Convert to ODT and instantly download your editable file. It is streamlined, it's highly visual, and it saves you a massive amount of time. So that brings us to one final, very important question for you to consider. What trapped document are you going to liberate first? We've explored the frustrating trap of locked formats, the elegant, private, browser-based technology that actually solves it, and the exact steps you need to take to achieve total text freedom. So go ahead, find that stubborn PDF, extract your text, and start editing. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.